This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello and welcome to Perfect Person, the show where I'm perfect and you're, of course, a person. I actually had a big lunch. And it started at 11 a.m.
Oh.
Lunch just got moved backwards. Having a lunch at 11 a.m. means that your day will be longer.
Oh.
Because you're extending your length of afternoon by eating a big meal at 11.
That's so interesting. I feel like my lunch has gotten later and later.
You're pushing your lunch later, so you're separating
Sometimes
the day.
2 or 3. And I'm like, I don't know. I eat breakfast late too.
Okay.
So that kind of everything is pushed back. But when you have lunch at 3, your day is over.
Yeah, I agree. 100% agree. If lunch is at 3, lunch is getting done 3:45. The day is cooked.
You're gonna work after 3.
No fucking chance I'm working after 3.
Boy.
So I'm obviously joined on the show today by Zac Oyama.
Oh, that was my stomach.
That was your tummy. You know Zac from all over the internet, but of course from a bunch of Dropout series, Dimension 20, etc. Zac, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Well, it's an honor to sit here across from you. Now, Zac, obviously you're perfect because you're on the show.
Thank you.
But what makes you perfect today to be on the show, to lend your wisdom to the callers?
I feel like what's making me perfect today is I have an open ear. You know, I'm ready to listen.
You're ready to listen and take it in.
Sometimes I think I'm a better listener than a talker, but I'm still okay at talking. So if you're given my choice, I'd listen rather than talk. Tough for podcasts, I guess.
You're a really good listener. You're like, I am a very active listener, which often on the show, I find that when I'm listening to the episode, I'm going, just a lot.
Ruining your edit.
Ruining the edit, by the way. The autopod, the AI that multicams between the two.
Something's spiking in there.
Just keeps going over to me. I love that. Well, honestly, I will say I feel a listening face.
Oh.
I feel that you seem very thoughtful. You have kind eyes. When I'm saying things, it feels like they're going right into your ears.
Yeah. Wow. They are going right into my ears. When you said that, I have a fear that sometimes I look like I'm listening really good, and then I don't understand what someone's talking about. Is the other side of it. You're like, so maybe I'm not even a good listener.
Yeah, right. You just appear to be listening. Someone's talking, you're going,
yeah. Don't understand.
No fucking idea. Well, Zac, before we get to the calls, I obviously have to calibrate your advice to make sure that we're on the same page.
Sure.
So I'm going to throw at you the Perfect Person speed round. Okay. This is a highly curated list of things that you're going to be responding to so that we understand
list of fangs?
Fangs.
Okay.
THANGS.
I heard, yes. Okay, great.
Fangs. Now, are you ready for the speed round?
I'm ready.
Perfect candy.
Three Musketeer, and it's embarrassing to say.
Three Musketeer.
A childhood favorite that's embarrassing to say now.
Whipped cream in a chocolate shell.
Like I'm on a diet and I'm 10.
I haven't had a Three Musketeers bar in 20 years.
I don't know what's wrong with me. Next.
Are you ordering these at the store?
I think there was a choice at one point between a Snickers and a Three Musketeer, and I just thought that I think my taste buds weren't ready for like hard nuts in a like a chocolatey soft candy bar.
I like that you said there was a choice at one point between the Three Musketeers and a Snickers, a very pivotal life choice that set you on a different path.
Just two completely different versions of Zac. You don't want to meet the Zac that ate a Snickers at 10.
No, you do not. Perfect sleeping position.
Oh, I sleep on my back.
On your back?
Straight up like this. Like I'm a corpse.
Like a corpse. Perfect shoes.
I like Onitsuka Tigers.
Oh, those are really nice. Perfect noodle.
Ramen.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here I was trying to write perfect vegetable, but I wrote perfect Vegeta. So.
Oh, I guess Super Saiyan, like the second Super Saiyan
2?
where they get too buff.
Yeah, they sort of like in pain.
Yeah. They're like, I think in the story, they're too buff to move fast.
Agreed, by the way. I reread all of Dragon Ball Z recently. It's so good. It's like, I didn't read Dragon Ball Super or whatever, where there's like the cat guy. I didn't do that, but I reread the entire
I've never
thing.
actually read them, but watched the anime growing up.
I never watched it. I always was a reader. I was on my tummy in the library, on my tummy in the Walden books, reading Dragon Ball Z on the floor. And people were trying to step over me to get to the really horny manga.
Yeah.
And I was just sort of in there reading DBZ.
DBZ is great. And then also every now and then there's something where you're like, oh no, I'm so embarrassed.
Oh yeah. It's like weirdly horny somehow. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's most manga. My phone died, so I'm pulling up my notes on my Kampupu. But no, so you didn't read manga as a child?
Not as a child. It sort of missed me in Alabama.
Yeah, you said miss me with that.
Miss me with that. I would have loved it. But
perfect sauce.
I love some sort of miso glaze.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Like that kind of, but yeah, that's my answer for now. 45 minutes from now, I might come and change it.
Actually, just kidding, mayo. Do you like mayo, by the way?
I do. I do like mayo now. As a kid, hated it. I was really against it.
Really?
And as an adult, it was no mayo, no Snickers for me.
No Snickers. Hey, no mayo, no Snickers. And they said, that's not going to be an option. You're going to have to take the box on.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect D&D 5e spell.
Ooh, counter spell.
Oh, such a good one. Perfect coffee order.
Just a black coffee. Big old black coffee. I
agree with that, by the way. I'm taking drip. I'm having drip. And I like an espresso, but that to me is a slammer. Yes. And if I'm going to sit and I'm going to simmer, that's a black coffee.
I like coffee and beer are similar to me in that I want like a big watered down version of whatever I'm having and just a lot of it.
Yes. Well, that's sort of like, I also feel that way about if I get a cocktail or something like a Negroni, eventually it's like a watery Negroni. And I like that about it.
Okay.
I want it to be the first sip is intense and powerful. And then by the end, I'm just having
You're kind of ready to be hydrated.
Be hydrated by the ice. Perfect breakfast.
I love an omelet, a 3-egg omelet.
3 eggs. What's in there? Mushrooms, onions?
I just do a little spinach and scallions and a little soy sauce.
Oh, the soy sauce to me was a sort of third act turn.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of putting soy sauce in an omelet, but I really like that.
I guess it's a thing that my dad always did when he makes omelets and excuse me, my stomach is
if I made you dinner, it was so spicy you threw up, would you tell me?
Yeah, but I wouldn't blame you. I think it would probably just be a funny story.
Hey, just so you know, not your fault. I threw up.
It's my fault once I double down and eat it.
Yeah,
I could tell you.
It became your fault.
Yeah,
eventually at some point. Perfect way to tell your roommate they aren't invited to your birthday party.
You go, oh, hey, bud. You know what this is.
No fucking way.
You know what this is, right?
Oh yeah.
We're roommates. We're not, it's not like that.
Okay.
You have permission to not invite me.
I'll just be in the living room hanging out.
Awesome. And I'll love that for you.
Perfect TV show.
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
Yeah, I'm back on it.
You've been rewatching Simpsy.
It's been just a fun rewatch / watching new episodes because I kind of hadn't been watching new episodes and a lot of the new episodes are really funny.
Oh, that's fun. Honestly, I've been rewatching Prison Break on Fox.
Ooh, that feels fun. That feels like I never watched it, but it feels
terrible. It's so bad.
Well, fun in that category. Fun in the terrible category.
It's terrible in that like every episode, it's so intense. It's just like.
How many times they breaking out of prison?
So many times. Oh my God, they get out of prison and then end of the first season, they get out of prison. End of the second season, they're back in prison in Tijuana, I think. Oh. Or maybe Panama. And then they have to get out of prison from there. It's just a ton of prison breaking. And it's got the also prestige television thing where at the commercial breaks, there's like a really fast like camera that's zooming through a prison. It's like... And then it like cuts to black. Yeah, then it brings you back.
So when you're doing laundry, you're like, oh shit. Yeah, like,
holy shit.
We're back.
Well, I've been trying to fall asleep to it. And it wakes me up. It does make me up. Perfect sunscreen.
I've recently got some kind of Korean sunscreen that felt like so fancy and good, and also I saw a TikTok of a runner using it where they had like an infrared camera and they put it on. In that, I don't want to. They don't have any. They're fine, but it does look like blackface when they put it on in the infrared camera. But like, I know that's not what their intention is.
Right, but when you
the
put
coverage is so good,
it's just so intense
yes.
that when you put an infrared camera, what you're doing is maybe wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that.
A bad illustration.
The perfect sunscreen is this one specific sunscreen where in UV it looks like blackface.
Don't condone infrared blackface.
That's the
Don't
clip.
condone that.
And we're clipping it. Perfect item you own. And this is the final thing.
I got a Steam Deck. It is so fun.
Dude, so
it
do
is
I.
so great.
I fucking love the Steam Deck.
It's just, as I get older, I can't be sitting at a computer desk playing a game, feeling old.
Yeah.
I have to be lounging on a couch while my wife watches Bravo, and I'm playing some old game that is already in my Steam library.
Oh, that's nice. What are you playing on Steam Deck?
Right now, I'm replaying Final Fantasy VII.
Oh.
Yeah. But I have a couple of like old games that I missed that seem to run well in it. Like I have one of the Fallout games that I just started playing.
Oh, 3 maybe? Or
the 3 or 4. I forget which one it is.
Okay, cool. And are you playing the remake or are you playing the original Final Fantasy VII?
It's like, I think it seems like a slightly upscaled graphics of the original.
Right. It's like a port of the original that looks maybe better just because we're not on a tube TV anymore.
I think so. I can't tell what looks better about it, but if I saw the old version, the real old version, I could tell. Yeah.
Now, I just got a device that I feel is up your alley, knowing that you play old games. The Anbernic, the like little Game Boy looking guy. And it comes with like hundreds of games.
I got one. I got a different version of the same thing.
I love
the Miu Mini Plus.
The Miu Mini Plus. I love the feeling of that little, like it's so compact. It's
because
adorable.
sometimes the Steam Deck is too much.
It's humongous. Yeah. It's like not a PC, but it is like I'm holding like a horizontal giant object in my lap.
And that can be embarrassing contextually.
It can be, yeah.
So a little guy is kind of nice. Yeah.
That's good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been trying to, there's not as much time as I have recently for video games, but it is one of my loves. I'm playing Stalker 2, which is like a new game.
That just came out, right?
It just came out and you're sort of like in a different fantasy version of Chernobyl that like has a bunch of spooky goblins in it.
Is it like an extraction thing or
no, it's not like Escape from Tarkov. It's like you're in this world and it's almost like Fallout, but the setting is totally different.
I see.
Like it's like inventory based. There's lots of little NPCs, lots of little quests, but the world is totally different. But it's not dissimilar from that style of game where you're like getting a gun. You have to make sure you keep your resources. You're shooting.
You're finding
stuff.
like a can of beans.
Yes, you find a can of beans. You eat the can of beans. Turns out there's a monster. You fucking kill the monster in the beans. Yeah. Well, Zach, we didn't come on the show to talk about beans. We came on the show to help people because they need our help. They are hanging by a thread and they are calling 911 and it's being rerouted to us.
Great.
But before we do, if you like the show, you have to take that on. If you like the show, consider freaking rating and subscribing it on Spotify and what have you. And if you love the show and you can't get enough, well, guess what? Now you can get enough.
Wow.
By joining us on Patreon and getting the ad-free extended version of every single episode, including this one, as well as bonus episodes every single Friday where I call back people from the show and I get their stunning updates on how my advice changed their life. We got live episodes on there. We got twists on the format. We have the 420 Bongcast, of course.
Hell yeah.
And lots more fun. So join us on Patreon where you can get all that and more. But Zach, it's time.
Let's do it.
2025 is the year of you. It's a new you and a new year, full of possibilities, baby. Don't let the bad times of 2024 bring you down because this year you can reach new heights with Via. Via is well renowned for their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies and vapes, THCA flowers, soothing topicals, and calming drops, all crafted with the highest quality hemp sourced from trusted, independently owned American farms. And the best part, Via legally ships to nearly all states in the U.S. in discreet packaging directly to your door with a worry-free guarantee. No medical card required. So if you're 21 plus, check out our link to Via's website in our description and use code PERFECTPERSON for 15% off. And if you're new to Via, get a free gift of your choice. I often finish work very late, so sometimes it's nice to take something that soothes me and kind of eases my worries because my brain can kind of still be working and tinkering and thinking about an edit and thinking about what I have to do tomorrow. So I do find that it calms my anxiety right before bedtime. Their products range from 0 milligrams to 100 milligrams of THC. So these guys have you covered. Check them out. If you're 21 plus, check out the link to Via in the description and use code PERFECTPERSON to receive 15% off. And if you're new to Via, get a free gift of your choice. After your purchase, they ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. This year, enhance your everyday with Via. I didn't realize I needed glasses until I tried on my friend's glasses at a party and I realized that everything was much clearer. And when I thought about where to get those glasses, there was really only one option, and it's the number one option in the biz for affordability and obviously fashion as well. And that option is my daily driver of glasses, Warby Parker. Warby Parker uses nothing but premium materials in each frame. Warby Parker designs every frame in-house, and our collection includes silhouettes, colors, and fits made to suit every face. Warby Parker offers everything you need for happier eyes: eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams. You can shop with them online, at home, and in stores. And I will say, I was able to replace my glasses because they got scratched and they were still under warranty. And I was like, oh my gosh, my glasses are scratched. And they were like, hey, by the way, bud, we're gonna give you another pair. Get them, they look nice and you're not gonna regret it. Warby Parker glasses start at $95 and include prescription lenses with anti-reflective, scratch-resistant coatings. Many Warby Parker locations offer comprehensive eye exams starting at $85. That's exactly where I got my comprehensive eye exam. Add a pair and save 15% when you purchase 2 or more prescription pairs of glasses or sunglasses. You know that I'm rocking the Whalen and Acorn Tortoise. Get started with Warby Parker's virtual try-on. You can try on glasses and sunglasses, seeing the realistic color, texture, and size of each style right from home right now. Or head over to warbyparker.com/perfectperson right now to take the home try-on quiz and pick 5 pairs of frames to try on at home for free. That's warbyparker.com/perfectperson, warbyparker.com/perfectperson.
Hi, Miles. My dad is too good looking for his own good and is terrorizing single women across America now that he's single again. So I need some help wrangling him in. Thanks so much.
That moment when daddy's too hot.
The feeling when daddy too good looking terrorizing women.
Yeah, the feeling moment when you get your daddy too hot to look at. I'm very curious, like, what she means by terrorizing. Like, he's he's dating women and he's maybe getting into trouble because he's having hanky-panky too much.
He's breaking hearts is what I'm imagining.
And so I'm guessing that we have to find a way to make her dad less hot.
To find a way to make him less hot. Yeah. And I think you kind of maybe are one of the only people who can stop him. I guess we can give advice, but
I mean, I know she's one of the only people who can stop him because she needs to. Hello. You called Perfect Person. I'm here to call you back. I'm here with Zac Oyama.
Hello.
Oh my God. Hi.
Hi. Now we're gonna need a fake name for you.
Miles. Hi, Zac.
Hi. How are you?
We need a fake name for you and a fake name for your dad. Zac, what is the fake name for our caller and then their dad?
Their name is Silver.
Loving that, Silver.
And their dad's name is Fox.
Okay, so Silver, you've got a daddy named Fox, and he is out there wreaking havoc on the single ladies of America. Why don't you give us a little more context? When you say, like, it's almost, my dad is good looking for his own good, it almost sounds like he, like, all of a sudden this happened to him. Like, tell us how you found yourself in this situation.
Yeah, so it kind of did all of a sudden happen because, unfortunately, my mom died. Rip,
I'm so sorry to hear that.
To me and her. No, it's okay. It was a couple years ago. And he is now back out there. He started dating him like pretty quickly, honestly. But, you know, he's in his early 60s. You know, you don't got time to waste. You know, he wants to find someone. So he started dating and like he just started dating so many women at once. And he was like going on all these dates and like one lived where he lived and then one lived, 1,000 miles away. So they were doing Zoom dates and then one lived over here. And then he decided, one wasn't actually what he was looking for. So he invited her over to dinner at his house to break up with her, and thought that was like a good idea. Like brought in Cheesecake Factory to break up with her.
Brought in Cheesecake. Sorry.
Why don't you just go to Cheesecake Factory?
Why order in from Cheesecake Factory at his house? Because Cheesecake Factory can't travel well.
No, it certainly can't. So she had to have a bad dinner and then get dumped. And the big problem is I really feel like he's getting all these people's hopes up because he's in his early 60s, but he has like a six-pack. Like my dad is ripped. He only ever works in, works out. He also keeps his house clean and cooks. And even though he took in Cheesecake Factory, but he does cook and like baked a pie for Thanksgiving the other day. And he is like seemingly really nice and liberal. And so like he's a really like a catch for other single women at his age, and he makes like a decent amount of money. And so I feel that every time he goes out on these dates, he's really getting their hopes up, and then he's just like dashing them on the rocks by doing crazy things like inviting them over to break up with them. And I just don't know what to do about him because I truly think he's wreaking havoc on these poor women.
I mean, your dad sounds so hot, to be totally honest.
He's fucked up.
Yes, fucked up, dude. He has a six-pack. He's like rich.
60-year-old with a six-pack.
And by the way, he understands how to work a Zoom call.
Yeah.
Like, this is all huge.
That was also shocking to hear, a Zoom date.
1,000-mile difference. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's really like just a catch, unfortunately, for all of us. And I just want him to be happy. Like, I really want him to find someone. So it is great that he's getting himself out there. But now he's like asking people that he knows for like, he says referrals. I mean, he's asking for referrals from people, including my dead mom's parents.
Oh.
So, I'm out there.
What is that?
Do you guys know anyone? Which is like so inappropriate. Anyway, so yeah, and like I do feel he has a lot of red flags, but red flags that will like become clear like much later in the relationship.
Yeah.
So I do feel that I don't know what to do. Like I feel like I need to like reel him in, but I don't. Yeah. So that's why I called. I really need help.
Well, we are the people to help you.
We're
with
absolutely the people for this.
We're gonna clip your dad's wings, man. But I kind of am like, so he's asking for referrals from the people he dates to be like.
Well, it sounded like referrals from friends and family to find other people to date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, my first question is Daddy looking to settle down, or is maybe Daddy playing the field a little bit?
He is playing the field, but definitely like with the goal to settle down because he doesn't like while he does cook and clean for himself, he doesn't like to. He had a wife who did that for him for 35 years, and so he's like really kind of over having to do all that by himself, and he works like a lot.
Okay.
So he's definitely like on the hunt for quote unquote, like not the one, but like the two. I don't know, the second one. So he's definitely looking for long term.
I think what you need to do is you need to sit Daddy down and just say, "Hey, Dad, dating has changed."
Yeah.
Okay, dating's a little because I think that like. His problem is maybe that he's meeting these women and they're like, oh, I assume that this older gentleman is like looking to settle down.
Yeah.
And he, I think, is also, he's kind of living in his hoe era. Your dad is living in his hoe era a little bit. And I wouldn't want to deprive him of that. But I think he just, when you're in your hoe era, ethical hoes tell people what the deal
100%.
is, okay?
Yeah.
Being an ethical hoe is all about being on a first date and being like, hey, what's up? Like, I'm not looking for anything serious, but like, I just am looking to have fun and whatever. Like, that's a huge thing for people who casually date. You just have to be really honest about what your expectations are.
I think I imagine a 60-year-old man is under communicating about what he's wanting out of dating and what he's, because I think like it maybe makes sense after this long to be seeing what's out there in this way, but there's a bit of a, hopefully a end to that period.
Although you hear a lot about like people in retirement communities or people that are older just like kind of getting it. You know what I mean? So like,
you do hear that.
You do hear about that. So if that's what your dad's interested in, I think that's ultimately fine. But he just needs to make sure that he's telling them. Now, can you have a candid conversation with your dad about DTRing with these people?
Yeah. So I have had a candid conversation with him about it and been like, he knows he's a catch, which is also part of the problem. But I'm like,
that's
so
a
you
problem.
know how you're dating all these women and like, you're kind of stringing them along. Maybe you want to cut things off sooner, or like let them know sooner that you're not necessarily feeling them for something serious. Like we support a hoe era. Okay, we're absolutely not slut shaming here, even when it's my dad and I want to throw up.
We cannot slut shame your dad. Yeah.
Yeah, but he just goes, but I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It's like they're, I have to figure out more if I like them more. So he'll go on all of these dates before like making that decision, and then he's also going on all these other dates at the same time with other people. So again, like we support a hoe era, but he's absolutely, I don't even know if he's like fully aware of that's what he's doing. I think he's not processing that he's in a hoe era. He thinks he's like looking for the one, and then thusly isn't really communicating that it's a hoe era. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I think your dad maybe needs to go on The Golden Bachelor.
Oh. It sounds like a perfect candidate. I literally,
first of all, would die. I would jump off a cliff. I think we missed the boat with that, because I think he would have been the perfect Golden Bachelor, but I think he would have, he can't do the Golden Bachelorette because he cannot be in a house with all of those people. He's too old and set in his ways. I just watched that season. They were sleeping in bunk beds, and I could just tell you my dad, what is his name? What's his fake name?
Oh, Fox.
Fox, yes.
Yeah.
Box cannot be sleeping in a mansion with 20 other men. So, I do think we missed the boat, because I think really the only way to get the Golden Bachelor is to be on the Bachelorette, right? So
I think
that's a great idea.
Yeah. I think a good end to this conversation is you need to find someone that's awesome and totally hot and 60 plus.
Yeah.
And then you say, Dad, I met this woman at the grocery store. She's so awesome, but I'm only going to give you her number if you make sure that you're really clear about where you are and what you're doing. And you guys maybe get coffee before you get dinner. Get coffee before you get Cheesecake Factory at your house.
At your house.
Yeah, at your literal
never
house.
do that move again.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe tell him you can break up over the phone. If you've been on a couple dates, it's okay to break up with the phone.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually, it can be more respectful, even though it feels more hurtful sometimes. I think that it's like, it saves people the grief of travel, which I think is the worst of all.
I think if I...
Truly.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just playing it back in my head. I was like, God, I really would not expect to be broken up with when I get to go Cheesecake Factory.
By the way, he's texting, he's like, what do you want from Cheesecake Factory? And I'm like, this is going to be an awesome night.
Yeah.
And you show up and he's like, it's over. Have the freaking taco salad from Cheesecake Factory.
Crying over your cheesecake in the car on the drive home, like tragic.
That's horrible.
15 to-go containers.
Laid out with the plastic bags still on the table. Yeah, that's horrible.
No, literally.
But
the unfortunate thing actually is that he did that because that was like their go-to during the pandemic. Him and my mom would order Cheesecake Factory to go, and so that was like, he's like,
gosh.
it's a good idea.
That's very cute.
Cheesecake Factory to go with this lady. Anyway, I think that's a great idea. I need to find someone. So if you, if you guys have any referrals on your end, you have my number now. So if you know any nice older people in their 60s and want to hook them up with a mostly nice older guy, know where to find me.
I would also say probably your dad's been through a lot. Obviously his wife passed. So I think that he gets, as far as I'm concerned, he does get a little bit of a pass to figure it out because he hasn't been single in, how long were him and your mom together?
35 years. And he was only single for 6 months between his girlfriend before her too. So he's not been single as an adult. And he has 17 siblings. So he really doesn't know how to be by himself in any sense.
He has 17 siblings?
17. Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Oh my gosh.
It is complicated to get back into the dating world, especially after that. And it does seem like there is a bit of a pass that should be granted to a level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But just sort of an end date.
I feel that. And I appreciate the feedback from someone else because it is a weird situation to be inside of. So hearing your perspective from the outside does really help.
I would also, I'm glad to hear that, but I would also say I've heard of people who, when this happens to them, when their spouse passes, they will sometimes get together with someone else who has been widowed in the same way because they understand kind of the lifestyle and what they're going through together.
Yeah.
So I would maybe encourage him, if that's something that, that would be somebody that has a shared common experience with him that I feel might be like a second hand. Like if he's meeting other kind of older people that are just like divorced, it's probably a little bit different. No, like I would imagine that him meeting someone else who's been through a similar thing may help. Is so that way it's like they at least know where he's coming from.
Right.
You know, kind of.
I also
you think there's like widow support groups?
I would imagine
sure they are.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I need to figure out.
Yeah, I would definitely imagine there would be.
I'm curious, does your dad like have buds? Or is
he has lots of buds. He goes out and he goes biking with all his buds all the time.
Okay,
That's
gotcha.
great.
I was just, making sure in my head that this isn't like taking place of like camaraderie. Like,
Totally.
But
he's got his Viking buds.
Yeah.
I would say, my advice is going to be your dad does get a little bit of an easy pass because of what he's been through. And I would also encourage him to like meet other older people, men or women, just people who have been through the same thing. Because I would imagine that there's like a lot to share and talk about with that.
Yeah, and especially navigating relationships post being widowed.
Yeah, completely. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Silver. I am so sorry that your dad is too hot to handle.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a lot of fun coming down the pipe.
Well, I appreciate you. I'll keep you posted if we have any good news, Miles.
Oh,
Thanks.
please do. Thank you so much. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
What a unique scenario.
I know, truly.
Yeah.
Dad is out here just getting it. Right?
Gosh.
I feel he's a six-pack too.
You don't have a lot of moves as the kid there. Yeah.
No, you kind of got to let Daddy do his diligence.
Yeah.
Well, Zach, we've got to give someone else a call back here.
All right.
Hey, Miles. I hurt a pro wrestler, not physically, like emotionally, and I don't know how to fix it. I would love some help. Thanks. Bye.
His greatest weakness.
Every pro wrestler is very vulnerable to emotional damage.
Very sensitive to emotional damage. Well, we have got to find out how they were hurt.
No way.
Hello, you called Perfect Person, and I'm here to call you back. I am here with Zac Oyama.
Hello.
Hello.
Now we're gonna need to give a fake name to you. Zach, what's this person's fake name?
I'm gonna say the emotional hurter.
The emotional hurdle.
I was trying to do a wrestling name and it just felt mean. So maybe not that.
The emotional herder. I'm the emotional herder.
Yeah, it didn't work. But how about Nancy?
Nancy. Okay, Nancy, thank you so much for calling in. Now, Nancy, why don't you tell us, and we're going to need a fake name for the wrestler as well.
The emotional hurdy. No.
Okay. So Nancy and... Oh, is that his name? So funny. We'll bleep it. Don't worry. We'll bleep it. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
What are the odds of that? What are the fucking odds that you would say the name?
I don't know.
That's his real name, not his wrestler name, but that's
Okay.
his real.
How about Wolf?
Wolf. Oh, I love Wolf. Okay, Nancy and the Wolf.
Yeah.
Now, Nancy, why don't you tell us what happened?
It is a little heavy. My love of my life died.
Okay.
Oh.
And he had a wrestling company that I am now taking over.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And this person was not very happy that I was taking over when the company was going to be on a hiatus.
Okay.
And no one really knew that it was going to be a hiatus. Kind of people thought that it was going to end permanently, but that was not the plan.
Okay.
I gave the championship belt because a different wrestler was in possession of it to someone else to announce that it was coming back. And I really, really hurt this wrestler, Wolf. And I kind of don't know how to fix it. And
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm so sorry for your loss.
So sorry.
I've talked often about, my losses on the show. So I do get where you're coming from there.
And I really appreciate your talking about grief because grief is so hard to talk about, and I appreciate you sharing all of this stuff. So.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's something I think about all the time, so I'm always happy to talk about it. Now, how long ago did your husband pass?
March.
In March. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and I should say, like, he's not like my husband, but like we were gonna, like, it was gonna happen, you know?
I see. Yeah. Got it. It was this was like, you know, your love, and he owned a wrestling company. Now talk to me about the wrestling company. I don't know anything about wrestling. And when you say wrestling company, I'm like, I picture everybody in their wrestling suits at desks.
Sort of a cubicle situation.
Like people getting water for
the cubicle.
He comes in as a big
I love
cube.
that image.
But what does it mean to have a wrestling company?
Basically, it's so it's indie wrestling, and it's like WWE on a small scale. It's yeah.
Okay, so cool. So now the wrestler that you hurt, Wolf, he's upset because you took away his championship belt?
Yeah, and it was like kind of a can I have a fake name for the love of my life?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Nancy and
Crispin.
Crispin is honestly a great name. So Crispin.
Crispin is like Crispin's like forever championship, and like that's what Wolf has in his mind, and I didn't know that, especially because the belt was in possession of a different wrestler, because Kristen had Wolf gift the belt to a different wrestler. So I was like, and I'm just kind of getting the hang of all this, you know, and I like really hurt this person, and I feel so bad, you know.
Wait, so to clarify here, because I'm confused about who's mad at what. So Wolf is mad because you gave Crispin's belt to someone else?
It wasn't Kristen's belt. It's like the company belt, but like Kristen's forever championship. Whereas like now that he's gone, kind of,
I see.
I can see where Wolf is upset.
So Wolf wanted it to not go to anyone, not even himself.
Yeah.
Got it.
So to clarify, Wolf was upset because there was this championship belt. Let's call it the awesome belt.
The awesome
The
belt.
awesome belt. And Crispin had the awesome belt. And then Wolf was kind of like, that's supposed to stay with Crispin because Crispin's passed, and that's like a legacy thing, and we don't give that to anyone else. And you made the decision to give that belt to someone else because you weren't necessarily sure of the ins and outs of the wrestling hierarchy. Is that all track?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, cool. So have you talked to Wolf about this?
Yeah, and it was kind of like a week of trying to figure it out. It was like Wednesday before Thanksgiving and trying to figure it all out, and lots of long messages, and I feel like I've done irreparable damage, and I just kind of don't know what to do about it.
I have a solution for you, because guess what? In wrestling, everything is solved in the ring.
You're gonna have to fight him.
You're gonna have to fight him. You're gonna have to get.
Might be right.
You're gonna have to. I really hate to suggest this. I mean, you've both been through a lot. But I do think that what you need to do is get in the ring and not fight Wolf, but I think you need to do some sort of symbolic gesture of a legacy belt for Crispin at some sort of wrestling event.
Yes.
That to me
That's so funny, because I suggested that, and he was like, I want nothing to do with it, basically.
That's fine. He can say that. He's still upset, but I do think that he will come around. He's a wrestler, right? These guys are hotheads. They're muscleheads.
They're live wires.
They're live wires, as it were. But I think that like if what his concern was like that, you know, you've messed something up, then I think you can admit fault to that. You can be like, look, I'm still getting acquainted. As Wolf can understand, you've been through a ton since March, right?
Yeah.
So I think that it's like Wolf needs to grow up a little bit and be able to forgive you for like, you know, making this wrestling faux pas because you didn't know the culture as much. But I do think that like if you guys have another event or whatever, doing some sort of symbolic, like this is a belt that will go on the wall. I don't know if it's like jerseys in basketball, but it's like this number, we're retiring.
From the rafters.
Yeah, exactly. We're retiring this like wrestling belt once and for all in honor of Crispin. That's what we'd like to do. And you can even be like, Wolf, I would like you to present it because it's like too emotional for me.
Right.
I think, I think Wolf basically wants to know that the legacy's still there. And I think Wolf also probably is just like hurt because death is hard and it's grief, you know?
Yeah.
You were
so hard.
You were in I saw a clip of you doing a bit on Game Changer, and one of the things that you said was sometimes the person you want to talk to about grief is the one who passed.
Who's passed.
And
yes.
I 100% was like, that's correct. That was a joke thing that you said, but it's true.
It was sort of based off of that, I think, that LCD sound system. Yeah. But
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, and it does sound very complicated, but I want to acknowledge that, yeah, you've also been through a lot.
Yes.
And like, I think you deserve some slack in the scenario where like, even if you don't, like, in my head, the belt that you gave to this other person that made Wolf upset, like, is that, I wonder if it's not a faux pas as well to like get that belt back and then give that person a new belt.
Oh, really good point.
Or like, you know, I think that there's room to correct it in a way that's not like we can take a step back and kind of pull the drama away from it a little bit.
By the way, all of it is silliness.
Yeah.
It's wrestling, right? And like wrestling is a very serious athletic event. Don't get me wrong, but it's like who has what belt? Like I'm sure that you could get the belt back and be like, we're actually going to retire this belt and we're going to bring in a new belt that the person you gave it to gets. Or whatever.
Yeah. And it's like you're not like a weird corporate overlord that came in and bought the wrestling company and doesn't know anyone. Like you had a relationship with this person too. So
yes,
I think you're afforded a little grace in my head, at least.
Yes, I 100%
Thank you.
agree.
I appreciate it. It's like I don't know nothing about wrestling. Like obviously I know quite a bit, but it's definitely because someone completely different had the belt in the first place. That definitely threw me off.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't know about the gifting of the belt. So I've been trying to give myself grace, but it's definitely hard not to like. Wolf also said that by continuing the company, I would be hurting Kristen's legacy. So that was hard to hear.
He's just hurt. I mean, it's almost like, you know how like some people say like, let's say someone has addiction or something. They say like, oh, that's the addiction talking. To me, that's the grief talking. He's like upset and hurt. And he's saying that because he's just like, well, that would hurt because he's hurt. He doesn't know what to do with it. And it's like, in reality, like this thing that Crispin built, I think it's totally normal to continue that, especially when it's like something as celebratory and awesome as wrestling. Like it's, you know, performance. And I think that's like something that should absolutely be continued. And it's also community, if I'm not wrong.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely. Honestly, I used to run a theater company and it is so much like theater.
Yes, so very similar.
In my head,
they are just theater kids that went to gym.
Yeah.
You were going to say something, Zach.
It's just in my head. I'm like, from this eagle eye view of it, it seems to me very clear that this person wants to be in charge of the league.
I do think that, by the way, right? You're 100%
that guy just
right.
It's upsetting to him but that you're in charge because he wants to be in charge.
Yeah. I mean, is there any credence to you maybe giving him a fake ass title? Can you be like, oh, Wolf is the master of ceremonies at, you know, at Crispin's wrestling company?
Well, he's a wrestler though, so he'd want to wrestle.
Well, yes, but maybe he's like the wrestler and then also he's got a star.
Yeah.
You know, like, can you give him some sort of fake gold medal that like aligns that like you can make him a consultant in the business and be like, I really could use your guidance.
He's on the board.
He's on the board. He's on the board. Corporate board. He's a shareholder of the wrestling company. Yeah. But I think that something like that for this type of person, seemingly, I think that symbolic gesture would help.
Yeah, maybe when everything is cooled off a little bit more. I will, yeah.
Pick it up in 2025.
Pick it up. By the way, it's December. Fucking phone it in and go to sleep. The year is over. Yeah. Nothing's getting done.
No new things happen before the end of the year.
Agreed. Once we hit December 5, month is over, year is over.
Yeah.
But Nancy, thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate it. And best of luck. I would love to hear how your situation turns out.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I love the show.
Thank you very much for saying that. And you have an amazing day.
Bye.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye. Whoa.
Wow.
Man, that call had so many elements to it.
Every call feels like a fully realized television show.
I agree. I can see it. I can see the ring. I can see Wolf. He's humongous.
Wolf, I wouldn't want to get in an argument with Wolf either.
No, not at all. And by the way, when I'm picturing Wolf, he's wearing like a tiny little tank top. He's got like, he looks like Thor, but
They're
he's
kind
just,
of the ones that some people wear in the gym that's like, that, why are you even, it's not even a shirt.
it's not even anything.
Yeah.
It's like a loincloth you're wearing on your chest.
I see both your nipples right now.
Yeah, what's the shirt for? You're just covering the center of your chest? Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's so crazy. To inherit a wrestling company is a movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
And I mean, it's a workplace comedy. I could see a lot happening there.
I could see a lot. It's Glow.
Yeah, it's Glow.
It's Glow. Well, Zach, we've got to take one more call here. And as far as I'm concerned, it should be a shoe-in. If you're a small business owner, then you must know that there's a million different things that can go wrong. And you might be kept up at night wondering if you did your finances correctly or wondering if you dotted the T's and crossed the I's. Well, what if I told you that there was a solution for your financial worries and woes? Found is business banking designed for small business owners just like you. Designed for small businesses and solo entrepreneurs, Found is, in my opinion, the only financial tool you need. Say goodbye to switching between multiple finance apps and tools. It's all in one easy-to-use app. Found lets you manage your financial tasks effortlessly, manage your money, track your spending, invoice your clients, and even handle your taxes, so you can focus on running your business. Found has like a running ticker on how much taxes you owe, and I find that service is a really, really nice way to ease my worries. I'm always paranoid about taxes at the end of the year and whether I'm paying too much or whether I've been saving enough to pay for the taxes, and having like a little thing I can just visit and be like, oh, guess what? I'm actually right on target to pay the right amount of taxes. That is very, very helpful. Check out some of Found's 30,000 positive customer reviews and see why over 500,000 small business owners like you chose Found. Get your business banking working for you. Try Found for free at found.com/perfectperson. You can sign up for Found for free today at found.com/perfectperson. Found is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services are provided by Piermont Bank, member FDIC. Found's core features are free. They also offer an optional paid product, Found Plus.
Hi, Miles. I am attending a soup cook-off party over the weekend. I have no idea what soup to make. I also don't know these people very well, but I want them to like me. So this soup really needs to have a wow factor. And I'm going for first place, but I need some guidance. Thank you so much. Bye.
Wow.
Wow.
We're flying into a tough scenario.
I don't know.
I have to win. I don't know what kind of soup I'm making, but it has to win over these friends.
And I don't know them, and they're not my friends.
Don't know them.
I barely know these people, and the soup has
We're
to be
putting
awesome.
a lot on this.
There's a lot riding on this, and I'm also curious about like where the soup community is even from. Like, how did she meet these people? Are they coworkers, classmates? I don't know.
I'm guaranteeing it's like semi-ironic.
You think that it's a fake soup cook-off?
It's like wouldn't it be funny if we had a soup cook-off?
Yeah, you think it's like the twee kids from the freaking communications department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're funny. Yeah.
They're actually really funny.
They're pretty funny. It sounds fun.
It sounds fun. Let's give a call back to this person so we can find out what soup they're making.
Hello?
Hello, you called perfect person because you need to make that soup. And I am here with Zac Oyama.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I just literally ran out of work.
Oh my
Very
gosh.
important thing, but I said I had to go.
You're a nurse in a hospital. You ran out of the street.
Mid-operation.
Mid-operation. Zac, can I please have a fake name for this person?
How about Samantha?
Samantha. Okay, Samantha, what literally is up?
I was invited to a birthday party that is a soup cook-off. It is my boyfriend's friend, who I don't know very well, so I really feel like this is a first impression moment for me.
Okay.
I need this soup to be a wow moment. I really want to come in first place, and I just don't even know where to start.
Now, how long has the relation been going?
3 years.
And by the way, there's a helicopter above you.
Is that the plane you just jumped out of?
There's a plane. You jumped out of a plane. I left work. So 3 years and you haven't met his friends.
No, I've met them. We just don't hang out with them as much as my friends. So I know them. I just feel like I haven't really gotten into the group, you know?
Okay.
So we just hang out less frequently. So, and there's going to be some people there that I haven't met. It's the birthday party. I just really want to make a good soup and show them I'm a cool soup hanging friend.
Okay, cool soup hanging friend. I love that.
I have a strong pitch already.
Let's go, please.
You're trying to win this competition.
Yeah.
But I will say there's a competition and then there's winning the night. And you can win the night by being the most supportive, all in on different types of toasts for the different soups. I guarantee you they forgot. I guarantee you people will show up and be like, what's the bread situation?
Yeah, and people are going to be like, oh, shit. And no one said to bring bread.
You thought of the toast.
Yeah, I think that's a really good, that's smart. It's like, people who play on The Bachelor, you can win The Bachelor, or you can be the villain, or you can get the most followers. Each of them is winning The Bachelor, in my opinion. So it's like, if you go into this night and you're like, I'm going to try everyone's soup and be really supportive, that could be winning.
That could be winning. And everyone will remember the toast queen.
Yeah, the toast queen. Remember the toast queen. They'll kneel to the toast queen. Yeah. I think that's really smart. Yeah, I think the toast is a great way because you need to dip. You obviously need to dip.
Obviously got to dip.
How do we feel about a crouton topping? So it's more travelable rather than a toast. Are we okay with that?
More travelable, is that what you said?
Travelable? Well,
yeah, you could walk, because I think we're doing little cups. People are going to walk around, trying different soups. It's got to be small.
Can I be honest about something?
Yeah.
I think croutons are a huge swing. Yeah. I think that is a risk.
It's a bigger swing than I was thinking.
It's a bigger swing than I was thinking. Because you want to make a splash. You don't want to drown everyone, okay? Because you're bringing croutons. You're walking with a loaded handgun of croutons into this birthday party.
It reframes it for me.
Reframes it for me.
And it's an important detail.
It's an important detail because to me, we said toast and you're taking that and you're really running with it.
I'm saying scratch that. I'm so sorry.
And also, in my opinion, you weren't bringing croutons for your soup. You're bringing croutons. You're not bringing croutons at all. You're bringing bread for everyone else's. So you're being like, hey guys, we needed something to dip in all the soups. Here's this amazing bread that I've actually sliced lengthwise.
Yeah.
So there's long,
almost like fries.
Almost like bread fries, by the way, toast fries that you're sort of dropping in. How does that feel for you?
That feels good. I think it's great advice. I'm definitely going to go with the toast. But which soup do I go for? Is the question. I'm between soup. I don't
think
know.
That's a fair question.
Like a tomato base, maybe a French onion. I don't know.
Well, first, before we can even get to the soup, let's talk bread.
And I'm so sorry. But yes.
No. Okay, I guess we can get into the soup. You called it about the soup. I guess it's time to get into the soup. I think that a wow soup, Tom Yum.
Wow. Yum.
Have you ever had that?
No. Just... I need to Google it.
Yeah.
I think a Tom Yum is gonna turn heads.
It's gonna turn heads because Tom Yum is a clear soup. And I bet a lot of these people are gonna be thinking, if you had a lay of the land, can you name 3 soups you know are gonna be there?
I think that someone is doing a chicken noodle. Someone mentioned something about a clam chowder. And I think that's all I'm aware of.
Now I can understand. Okay.
How many soups are there going to be?
How many people are coming?
I don't even know. I think like 15, 20 people.
Okay. So gotcha. 15 to 20
I'm
soups.
a +1, like the invite went to my boyfriend, bring your girlfriend. I just really want to get in on this soup game.
Yeah.
I'm walking in without a lot of information.
You know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Google soups. And then we're not going to, because you don't want to make, if you make, again, like you already know these soups are being made, you want to make something unique. You don't want to be like, oh, they also made a chicken noodle. You don't want that.
Yeah.
So soups, I'm just going to write list of soups. Soup.
I got a good one.
Please.
A Korean jjigae where you just get some red miso.
Mm-hmm.
You get some tofu, maybe a little like pork belly, and some kimchi. Mm-hmm. And it's just like a spicy sinus clearing soup at a party.
A nuclear bomb of sinus.
But everyone's going to remember that flavor.
I agree with that, by the way. I think that also avoid minestrone. Avoid minestrone because it's in the top soup. When you Google the word soup, because this is what other people are going to be doing. They're going to be Googling soup, types of soup. And then I've got, there's obviously quick and easy vegetable soup. And then there's a minestrone, types of soups. You don't want to make a leek and potato soup, a butternut squash soup, a spiced carrot and lentil soup. I think that going for an Asian soup is a great idea. Going for a Korean soup, going for a tom yum, going for some sort of like untraditional, because people are going to probably be making like, basic ass soup. You know what I mean? And getting something that is spicy, or this is really crazy, a smoothie bowl.
A smoothie bowl. Whoa.
Now that's a big swing, but
hot or cold.
Or I was going to say cold. A boiling hot, piping hot strawberry smoothie bowl.
Isn't that, what is cold soup? Isn't that like...
It's gazpacho. If you make gazpacho, it'll get a laugh.
Yeah.
It'll get a laugh, and I actually do think the gazpacho is not a bad option because, again, what you're trying to do is a wow factor. But also, it's important to remember presentation is everything.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure it's in a gorgeous like pot, like a La Crusette or whatever. Make sure that it presents...
An enamel.
A nice, a nice presentational soup. Now, off the top of our head, what sounds interesting to you? Like, where are you leaning soup-wise so far?
I mean, my immediate lean is toast is necessary. We started the call off with this. I think I'm definitely bringing a toast aspect, but then I think the Asian sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a wow factor that not a lot of people are gonna expect. So I think I'm leaning Asian.
I think that that's a good idea. Now,
hell yeah.
I think that hell yeah, man. I think that's a good idea. And I think that you're going to be proud you made that decision. I will say now, one thing that's going to be a little bit interesting.
Okay.
Is that Asian soup doesn't really go with toast.
I am realizing that.
Oh, yeah.
But my pitches are not
how about
compatible.
Toast for the other soup.
This is exactly right.
I'm being generous.
Yes.
Toast for the other soups for visibility. But then my own Asian soup, please take your toast elsewhere.
Exactly. Because that way, even as people are enjoying other people's soup, what they're really enjoying is your toast.
Yeah.
And that way, everybody loves you.
And for your soup, instead of toast, maybe like a white rice or some kind of noodle or something.
Noodle.
Throw that in there.
A noodle. I like the idea.
A noodle.
I like the idea of noodle because what you're doing is you're hacking it. You're going, it's soup, but it's actually a meal.
It's kind of a full meal.
It's kind of a full meal. There's noodles in there.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Oh, I want some.
I'm hungry now. I would like sort of a nice, nice soup. But best of luck here. Now, another thing you're going to want to do is have a conversation icebreaker. And I think a really good one is going to be, you want to know where I got the bread for the toast? And it's from a local bakery.
Wow. And it's a good local bakery. That's
Love
a fun,
that.
you can have, there's 10 minutes of conversation.
At least 10 minutes of conversation in there.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
I live down the street from a local bakery, so that
Beautiful.
I love. So perfect.
Okay, that's really, really nice. Well, thank you so much for calling us in about this soup.
That's really nice.
I will say, I would like to find out how this goes.
Yeah, me too.
And I would like to find out how the toast goes over. And I would love a call back for the Patreon show.
All right, amazing. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
All right, you
too.
as well. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
It's going to go bad.
God. And they're like, where are all these crumbs from?
There's bread everywhere. Oh my God. Okay, off the top of your head, you're making food for a potluck. What is it? What is it?
Gosh, what's the last potluck? I think I would try some kind of like barbecue situation. I think I'm going some sort of large quantity of meat.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think that would be fun to do.
I like that idea.
Maybe some ribs, some pork ribs or something.
Showing up with ribs, you're the hero of the party.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I will say, and I hate to say it, but I think that potlucks, they're sort of come out of vogue.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been to one. That's why I was just like searching through my mind for the last time I went to one.
Because there's like a Friendsgiving, which is like everyone does bring food, but
kind
a potluck
like on its own.
Yeah.
I haven't been to one in a while.
A potluck in the wild.
Yeah. Maybe it's a COVID kind of considering.
That is a really good point. we're not really having food.
Mashing food.
I remember going to a birthday party in like 2022 and the cake got brought out with candles on it. And it was
that
like
awkward moment.
That,
you blow it out. I'm just gonna fucking blow it out, and then no one eats it.
No, it was literally like someone was like, "Oh, should I not?" And then they just kind of waved the candles away, and it was like, "All right,
well, this is fun."
Well, thank you all for coming. Well, Zach, we have one final segment.
Okay,
and it's a segment we like to call "Get Real."
All right.
Yeah, this is a segment. Stomach hurts. This is a segment we like to call "Get Real," where we force a genuine moment in an effort to learn more about each other and ourselves. Now, Zach.
Yeah.
You're obviously a silly Billy.
Yeah, I would say so.
You get silly online.
Mm-hmm.
What is something in your own life that is a goal that you've accomplished recently that is very exciting to you? Or something that you were like, I was working towards this and then I got to do it and that was really exciting. And this could be personal or emotional, or it could be a goal that also you're striving towards and something that you're like, I'm really working hard and I would like to do this one thing. It could be anything.
You know, I think the thing that this feels braggy, so I feel bad a little bit.
You can brag.
For a very long time, we just finished a season of Dimension 20. That's why I'm thinking of this. For a very long time doing that, outside of the people who have been watching it and love it, I appreciate very much. There are oftentimes people that I talk to in LA or in our lives, and because I'm also a writer and other things, and where like you say it to them and they just have no idea what you're talking about, and then you talk about D&D and they just have no idea what you're talking about. And that's still true, but as of 2025, at the beginning of 2025, we're doing a live show at Madison Square Garden.
You are, yeah.
And so that is, I finally have a shortcut to explaining that, no, this is something.
This is like so popular, we're doing it at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. And that is, it's nice to at least be able to say that to someone who has no idea what you're talking about at all, that it is. Some people really love this.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like self-actualized in physical space.
Yes.
I can relate to that on a slightly different level, but working with like internet stuff, there is always this kind of like
little brother to traditional media feeling thing.
But however, it's funny because like traditional media is like dead in a fucking ditch.
Now. It's absolutely dead.
I'm like, I've been kind of like doing my thing and making stuff online and try and doing whatever. And it's been like, slowly increasing. And it's kind of cool, I feel, suddenly for people to be like, oh, wow, that's still kind of going. Even though the industry is so dead right now, that's still been kind of going. And I get to do like the show live. We went on a little tour. We did 12 cities. And it was so rewarding to do those shows. And then also to be able to tell people like, oh, we just went on a 12-city tour. Because it puts a face to the name of like, oh, I make this online thing. But people are interested in it maybe.
Touring is so fun.
It was so fun, dude. Yeah. I loved it. I mean, so have you guys done a show at Madison Square Garden yet? Or
this is at the end of January next year.
How many people is that?
It's like 16,000 people.
Holy fuck. That's going to be so awesome, dude.
Yeah. And I think that will feel very, very surreal. It's already feels crazy to like, I feel like I shouldn't even be talking about it just because it feels that crazy to talk about. I don't know. Yeah.
The idea of, and I think what's crazy and what I felt on my tour, there was not 16,000 people at my tour, but I felt like, I was like, oh wow, I've done so many shitballs improv shows that no one was there to see what I was doing. Right. And I was like, people are here to see this. And it feels so good to come on stage and they're here to see this. Madison Square Garden, 16,000 people there to see you play D&D.
I don't know.
Amazing, dude. That's so exciting.
It's really crazy.
Especially because, D&D is just so joyous. It's like, magic and math.
Magic and math combined together. Yeah.
Well, that's very, very exciting. I'm so thrilled to like see how the Madison Square Garden show goes. That's exciting.
I hope it's fun.
Hope it's fun. Well, Zach, that's the end of the show.
Wow. Miles, thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being here. You were a fantastic guest. Now, if people are loving you, where can they find more Zach?
I think a funny thing that I just remembered is that I had a while where I have a YouTube account that's just at Zac Oyama. That all it is YouTube shorts where I count how many subscribers I have. I haven't done one in over a year, but I think it's time to bring it back.
That's so funny. You count up from like 1?
Well, it's something like, what is going on? I do like a full YouTube intro and I just say how far away we are from 100,000, and we're pretty far. But
that's so funny. Well,
that's
hey,
all it is.
Everyone get on there, follow at Zac Oyama on YouTube so you can watch those shorts.
They're really fun, Dan. But check it out.
Hell yeah, check them out, and check out Dimension 20's tour so they can see you, of course. And just remember, if you're at home and you've got a problem and you're not quite sure how to solve it, then no matter who you are or where you are, perfection is only a call away.
That was a Headgum podcast.